Awesome. Hi, Joseph. So nice to meet you. I'm Sarah with Smells Like Teen Angst.
Hello, hi, nice to meet you.
This movie was absolutely hilarious. I loved the play on the ick. We all have been using this word forever, and I love how you have turned it into such a farcical horror fun movie to watch. With a killer soundtrack, by the way. The entire time I was like, oh my God, I am back in my car with my 6 disc CD changer playing my favorite songs. So when it came to bringing the soundtrack to life, which I feel like is almost like another character in this movie, what were you going for? What were you hoping that the music would bring to the story?
So I wanted to tell a story for millennials that didn't ignore the fact that millennials are now aging. You know, like
How dare you?
here's the thing. I've made music videos over the years for many different generations. I've seen generation gaps over and over again. And here's the thing about these songs. They're all 20 years old or plus. You know what 20 years is? A generation. Okay.
Yeah.
And so I told the story about Hank, who was a millennial back in the 2000s, and everything was going for him. I mean, he's going to be Tom Brady. He's got the hot girlfriend. I mean, life is sweet. Then he breaks his leg, and he's still in the same small town. And that is a story that I think a lot of people can relate to because when you're young, you think everything's ahead of you. And then when
Mhm.
you get older, you start realizing time has run out and you don't get all the things you want out of life. So on a certain level, I'm telling a very depressing story. It's about, millennials, we're all getting old, but at the same time, it'll make you feel sad, but also make you feel good because the entire journey for Hank is that he realizes it's not about being a football star. It's not about upsets. It's not about getting your old girlfriend. He gets a possible daughter out of this whole situation. And that new love that he has makes him feel young again because now all of a sudden he's sharing, his life. He's moving to the next level. But that whole process of an older person giving to a younger person and loving, like a purity of a child. I think that makes life worth living again. That's a kind of a magic thing that happens. And so it's a movie that should make millennials feel old, but also good.
Yeah, absolutely. And the ambiguous ending, I thought was such an interesting choice. Why did you choose to do that?
Because does it really matter if she truly is risen? We're trying to give some spoilers away or anything like that. But like if you have a stepdaughter, do you love her any less than your own?
Yeah.
Like if somebody means something to you, do you suddenly stop having that particular relationship because it's not specifically, genetic? So I don't think the answer really matters, frankly.
I love that. And then when choosing what the ick was going to look like, having it be this like anamorphic plant in a way, how did you land there versus making it more of like an alien creature with a face?
Well, I did want it to be a bit ambiguous because even the origin of it is ambiguous. I never tell you exactly what it is, never tell you where it is. I don't think it matters.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't think that we have to know what it is. When COVID happened, and by the way, this was written before COVID, people are debating where it came from. And ultimately, at the end of the day, whether it came from a lab, whether it came from a bat, whether it came from a weapon, whatever it is,
Yeah.
it's the way it affects your life has nothing to do with the origin. You have to deal with it on a daily basis. And some people don't have time to research all that stuff. They're just dealing with the effects of it. So that's the way we actually react to these things. The vast majority of people, how it happened doesn't matter. Like the reasoning behind 9/11, the reasoning behind climate change, any other particular effect or any politics that you have, when it comes to your local level, you're dealing with the effects. And that doesn't make it any less valid that you don't know why it happened. And that's what's being expressed here.
Absolutely. And then when casting Brandon and Mena, like I think that was so smart, especially what you were saying. Like these were two people that were huge millennial actors. She's in American Pie, American Beauty. She's ginormous. And Brandon as Superman, right? And they've both spanned careers over multiple decades. Was that something you were looking at when casting your two main people?
Yeah, so the first part, let's talk about Brandon. Brandon played Superman. He's at the highest high, got the role of a lifetime. And then people did not support him after that. But here's the thing. I think maybe the character got ahead of him, or the sort of once you get casted in a role like that, that's all people see. But when you actually meet the guy and you actually see his work, he is an incredible actor. He's funny. He's got heart. He's got charm. He's good looking. He's 6'3". It's like he can do action scenes. He can do crying scenes. He can do it all. He's a phenomenal actor, and yet somehow life didn't like turn him into Brad Pitt, but he's got
Mhm.
all those qualities. So I thought that's a wonderful way to sort of invest that baggage into this role because his character Hank should be Tom Brady, but he's still in high school fighting the odds against him. But at the same time, he's pining for his high school sweetheart. And this girl has to be so amazing that you pine for her for over 20 years. Now, who in the 2000s do you pine for? Like, who is that iconic girl? Well, they made a movie about her. It was called American Beauty, and she's on the poster. It's Mena Suvari. So I was looking for a Mena Suvari type because like I'm never gonna get Mena Suvari. This is ridiculous. Uh, but I ended up getting Mena Suvari, and
Yeah.
that was an incredible stroke of luck. It was like I don't think I could have casted it any more perfectly than those two actors taking those roles.
Yeah, and they're so fun together. I'm surprised they never really worked together before, so I loved getting to see them in this. And then my final thing for you, everyone can watch a trailer, but I always like to ask you to tell everyone why they should watch your movie from your own words.
This is an anomaly in today's world. It's a creature feature, number one, and we don't see a lot of those. For some reason, Hollywood does not make creature features and monster movies anymore. They'll make big smash movies where the monster comes in and destroys an entire city. I don't need to do that. The monster attacks a small town. It's relatable. It's in the real world. It's shot on real sets, by the way. So it's not like a Marvel movie where you step outside New York and it's all CG. These are like real high schools, real bedrooms, real everything. So it takes place in the real world. And the monster, yes, it's CG, but it's CG in a way that's contained and small. And then on top of it, I'm not here to make a horror movie that scars you. I'm doing an homage to the monster movies of my past. When I watch those Frankensteins and those The Blob and them and movies like that, they weren't things that you would never want to watch again and go, that was so disturbing. I want to see it. You would like the creature. You would like to look at it. You like to see it again and have fun. It's more about the thrills and laughs. And ultimately, I made it for both an older generation to simulate what it's like to become a millennial at age 35 to 45. But I also made this movie for the teenagers that aren't getting movies like this. They cannot go straight to these horrible movies where people getting ripped apart or stabbed through the eye or hands getting chopped off and things like that. If they die here, they turn into goo. Okay, so it's a starter horror for them. It's more on the lines of like Gremlins or The Blob and things like that. So you can take your kids to it. You can see the whole thing with your whole family. And I just feel like they don't make these type of movies, so I made it because I want to see this.
I love that. Well, thank you so much. It's lovely talking to you, and everyone go see it. It's so good.